Okay, again, let's talk about a word, taking out one of the middle sounds, and then what new word would you have? So let's do the first one. The word is grass. Grass. So if you separate that GR blend, you take out the R and just have the G, and then you would have gas. See? All right, let's do another one. How about told? If you take out the t from the beginning, you would have old. All right, so let's do the word trot. Trot. Take out the R. Tot. Tot. All right, let's have the word nest. Nest. Take out the s. So you have ne and t. Net. Okay, let's have the word flab. Flab. Take away the f. What do you have left? Lab. So we're taking it from all different parts. All right, the word is black. Black. Separate the BL blend, take out the L, and you'll have back. Back. All right. I know it's a little bit tricky, hard to hear sometimes, but you're going to get it. I know you will. Let's review some of your sounds, and then we'll read some words. All right, so we have C. You remember what it does? That clicking sound, that. How about A? It's the lamb, and when she needed to call for help, she said, ah, ah, right? Ah. All right, again, our ticking timer. T, 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 t. We've got popping popcorn. And, oh, here's one. Now, this one, I don't know. This one is a little tricky for some people. They want to say G says J, but we're going to say G, that hard sound, that G for our gopher, and he's got grapes and G, G, grass. So G is the sound for G. S, remember those sizzling sausages? Because the sound for S is S. And then again, our hound dog, when he gets tired, makes that sound. And I do that because another word that starts with H is hot. And your breath, when you make that H sound, is kind of hot. Can you feel it? Let's read some words with those sounds in them. All right, let's read this sound for this word. It's got T, so T says T, A says ah, and P says P, right? So put those sounds together. Tap, tap, tap. Let's do the next one. C says K, A says ah, and T says T. Put it together. K, at, cat. I know some of you probably know that one. That was a pretty familiar one. All right. S says S, A says ah, and G says G. That hard sound. Sag, sag, sag. All right, last one. H says A says ah, and T says T. Put together. Hat, hat. All right, I'm going to read some clues. You tell me what word I'm thinking of, okay? This is an animal. Has to be cat, cat. You put this on your head. Hat, right? Hat, hat. This is another word for pat. So you could pat someone on the shoulder, or you could tap them on the shoulder. This word starts with the letter S. Yep, it can only be sag. It can only be the word sag. And you're going to use these sounds and some of these words in your assignment today. But before you do, let's work on making some interesting sentences. All right, I'm going to start with a very simple sentence that isn't very interesting. I put on the hat. Okay, that's kind of boring, not very interesting. That's what we're going to start with, though. Okay, so I, notice it's always a capital I, leaving space, I put on the, and everybody knows how to spell on, and everybody knows how to spell the, because those are high frequency words. I put on the, and we read that word hat. Hat. All right. So how can I make it more interesting? I could tell something about the hat, right? I could tell what kind of hat it was, whether it was a knit hat or a baseball hat, or I know this would be interesting. Remember, I can draw that little caret thing there, that little upside down V, and I can add a word to my sentence to kind of edit it. Now, if I was doing the final draft and I was giving it to somebody to read, I'd have to rewrite the whole thing so I wouldn't have that little mark there. But this helps me just edit my sentence, make it more interesting. So I'm going to I put on the tiny little word here. I have to write small because that says pirate. I put on the pirate hat. All right. I put on the pirate hat. So that tells what hat, right? What hat I put on. Let's see. I put it on. I know. I'll tell when I put on the pirate hat. Now, I could say a lot of different things, but I'm going to say when I was on the boat. Period. I put on the pirate hat when I was on the boat. Now, that's a much more interesting sentence with a lot more details for the reader than what I had to begin with. I just put on a hat. I didn't say what kind of hat. I didn't say where I was. I didn't say what I was doing. But this time, you know more things, right? I put on the pirate hat when I was on the boat. Gives you a lot more information, and it's more interesting to read. It's just a better sentence. So we're going to work on doing those things. You have a writing assignment. You had writing assignments this week. You always have your quick writes, and that's a good time to practice writing interesting sentences. Now today, you will be doing page 85, and 85 says, pat the dog gently. Pat. Now we didn't make that word, but you know all those sounds. Pat. The car needs gas. You know those sounds. G. Ass. And the kids play tag, and a stag is a deer. It's a kind of deer. Stag, ag. You hear that blend at the beginning, that ST blend? Stag. All right, so page 85, turn in your